One of the great features of the Bowlar S-arm is that its length can be adjusted to suit the stance of any particular bowler. The arm comes at a standard length with an adjustable feature which we will show you right now. The optimum length for the stick should be so that in your bowl position of your choice, the bowler arm should be 50 millimeters from the ground. And we'll demonstrate how this telescopic feature works. By now, using a fixed stance position, we will measure the distance so that we've got the stick at 50 millimeters from the surface. Please adjust the stick for a fixed stance 50 millimeters from the surface, please. Adjusting, simply pull out the telescopic feature to match your required distance, and then you have it so that it is 50 millimeters off the surface. This adjustment is done using a simple spanner that will be an 8 millimeter spanner, and we will show you the features of the adjusting of this in our next video. Getting back to the fixed stance, you will see that the bowler has now the correct length for his particular style. The fixed stance with a straight arm on the bowler arm. The non-bowling arm is featured on the right knee in a comfortable position. He then rocks forward to a position at 7 o'clock, rocks back to 4 o'clock, and accelerates through at his feet and delivers the bowl at 6 o'clock. This is being demonstrated right now with an acceleration coming through. That is the fixed stance. We'll now look at the wide stance. Moving straight on into the wide stance, we can now put the arm back to its neutral position, get our stance, and then adjust it so that again it is at the optimum height off the ground, which is 50 millimeters. Exactly the same as before, we rock forward to 7 o'clock, back to 4 o'clock, and accelerate through, delivering the bowl at 6 o'clock. This is our wide stance. We now have the ability for those who want to be very upright. We're now going to readjust the stick back to 0 and show you the very straight stance. We're now going to lengthen out. This will mostly be to the longest length. And again, you'll see that it is 50 millimeters off the ground. He's now aiming his shoulders towards his target. He has a straight arm. He then rocks forward to 7 o'clock, back to 4 o'clock, and accelerates through 6 o'clock and delivers the bowl at his feet. 7, 4, 6. And you'll notice that his arm is straight and everything is coming from the shoulder, and his non-bowling hand is resting on his thigh. We have one more of the 4 stances that we recommend, and it is the forward stance. So here again, we'll put the stick back into a neutral position. With this particular one, you actually have to get to your end position to measure where you need to have your stick. So you'll end up in your end position, you'll step forward, and then you will adjust so that you've got your 50 mil off the bowling surface. That's fantastic. You will then go back to your start position again, shoulders, arms straight, non-bowling hand resting on your left hand side, and you are now ready at your 50 millimeters off the ground, and you will now start your rotation of the bowl forward 7 o'clock, back to 6 o'clock, stepping at 6 o'clock, and then delivering from 4 o'clock through to 6 o'clock. We'll show you that again. It's very quick. So he rocks forward 7, back to 6. At 6 on the way backwards, he steps forward, and then at 6 o'clock he comes through and delivers the bowl with the acceleration required for the bowl to leave the cup. No buttons required. Just doing that one more time. Rock forward to 7 o'clock, back to 6. When it passes 6 o'clock on the way back, that is where he's stepping forward. He then gets to 4 o'clock, accelerates through, and releases at 6 o'clock between his 2 feet. During our demonstrations, we were able to show you how the bowler arm is adjusted. We're now going to show you that once you've found the correct length, how to tighten, aim, rebalance, and tighten up the nut so that you can commence bowling. You'll see that he's using a spanner which comes with the bowler arm. He's turning it in a clockwise manner to tighten. Once he's got it semi-tightened, he will then just adjust and make sure it's right lined up, the handle is lined up with the cup, and then he will do a couple more turns to tighten up, remembering not to overturn, and that is how we adjust our sticks, and it is now ready for bowling. We'll just show that to you one more time. Anti-clockwise will loosen it, and you need to loosen it a fair bit so that you can actually push it up and down with ease. As demonstrated now, no, that needs a little bit more. And now that's with ease, a little bit more. That's okay. And that way it's with ease. And that was done with an anti-clockwise rotation with the spanner. He's now lining it up, and again he will correctly tighten in a clockwise manner to make sure that it is tight. He'll have a quick look to make sure that it's balanced and lined up with the cup head again, and he'll do his final turns. A very simple process to accommodate all the different features of the stance for the bowler arm.